Welcome BRIO builders to this extended unboxing video of our recent vintage BRIO track and accessories haul. This is going to be a slightly longer video, so we've split it into chapters so you can watch it in stages or skip and see the pieces you're most interested in. Let us know what items you're most excited to see in future layout and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already.
I think it'd be quite nice to unbox these together for the first time. So the first one here we have is this engine shed. Slide that out so you can see there we've got the parallel track. Pop that down. So there's our engine shed, nice detailing on the side. The condition of this is all, so far, it's fantastic quality. It's really well been looked after. It's 3 individual doors, that sits on there, so our train can come in to each of those. I'll grab one of the trains actually. It's one of the trains here that came with the bundle as well. So you can see, open that, slide it in, and then we can tip that to get that back out. That's a big engine shed that we have there. It's probably got the ferry. So this one didn't come in a box, but again, still the condition is amazing. We've got the 2 ferry docks, male and female ends. So idea being is that we would have one of these on either side of the layout. The ferry is here. Our train can come dock onto the ferry. It departs, that shuts, comes across to the other side, opens up, and off rolls our train. And as it departs, that closes again. Really nice detailing with the funnel on the top, holes in the side so you can see in or get fingers in. Been after one of these ferries for a long time, so really happy. Let's take a look at this. So this is our water tower. Old steam engines. You can see all the older designs on the boxes here. Okay. There's our sort of, I think, 2nd generation of BRIO figures. See there with the hat and the movable arms. Both of them move up and down together. The short legs. Got a hole in the bottom, so I guess there's probably certain pieces where the kind of platform maybe that it can stand on. And we've also got in here, packed for you by 869. Well, whoever you are, 869, thank you very much. This is, again, original BRIO that was made in Sweden as well. So, original, authentic BRIO that we have. Yeah, and as you can see here, as we pull that lever, the water station comes down, and this bit turns around. So as our train comes along, he's topping up, down, fill up the funnel with water, and off goes the train. Okay, let's have a look at some of this double track. So if you're not familiar with the double track system, what you have here is, as it says, 2 lines. Now this inner curve is the shorter, smaller curves, the E1, and this outer one sits in between the small curve and the larger curve. We'll do now that we've got some here, we'll do another video another day showing all the differences between the tracks and how they all fit together. So glad to pick some of that up. And what's nice with this is we've got a couple of pieces here that can actually fit together with it quite well. This is the parallel switches, 3, 3, 4, 6, 6. So they can fit on there like that. So over there so it matches. So we've got our straight line that runs around and then a secondary outer line there. Or we can use perhaps one of our double tunnels that we have. Here has the nice print deer on it, and that will then slot in on that side, followed by a parallel switch. We actually have 2 of these tunnels, so we can double up on that like that. that. Slide that out there. Or we can, say, pull that out. Just put those two parallel pieces together, sort of see, or switch it over, something like that. If we needed like a small little offset. But yeah, works really nicely with our trains coming around. And then with this double track with the tunnel, should be able to put two pieces together there and create a double track, double tunnel. So that's quite a fun piece to have. I'm sure we can have our parallel tracks on here, send our train down through the big tunnel. Or switches. Oh, who's this one packaged by? 3601. Thank you very much. You know who you are. So again, these are like your small E1 curves, the same as we have here. That is the same radius, so this same curve. Male and female. Male and female. So it's just a small curving switch, but useful. Doing different configurations allowed, especially in engine sheds. Really useful for getting trains from one track to another. And something that we currently only have these two in our collection, so we were missing the opposites. So good to increase the number of those, so we've got some more crossroad. Still with its original insert. So that's our crossroads, two pieces, both notched. So one sits over the top. We already have two of these. The nice thing with this is you can switch that round, so depending on how your tracks are, if it's looping from here around to make a figure eight, you can do it like this. However, if you've got these two lines going off in different directions, this one can go off somewhere, different train off over there, so we can actually use these as two male parts there. We also have a couple of switches, a couple of buffers to go on the ends of those crossroads as well. Okay, let's open one of these larger pieces. Okay, here we are. So, the BRIO 33460 10 point rotating turntable. So on this side we've got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exits or entrances, and then we've got a pass through across here, and then the same on all of these. Now you note we don't have anything opposite on this one or on this one. Part of that is the way the BRIO system works. So if you imagine, generally speaking, everything's at 45, so 0, 45, 90. These in-betweens, these 22.5-degree angles, work perfectly when you connect into an engine shed. But in terms of building layouts, it can get a bit complicated in the track math to connect those back up. So useful for connecting out to sheds, but when you're actually building out into layouts, it doesn't always work that well. We'll actually open up the 5-point piece here as well. So I think the connections on this will likely match up. Yes, they do. So you can see there, this one works in a similar way. So we've got our track coming down, and then it can go out to any one of those 5. In the same way, this will enter and then can turn to any of those 5. So generally, those would go off for your buffers or into a shed, or you can use multiple ones and have these ones connecting. We have done a layout previously where we've just looped this end back into this end. That works because of the angles, but connecting this into one of these other angles, generally you have to force the track, so it doesn't work as nice unless you've got a non-BRIO flexy piece of track to make it connect. So yeah, nice addition, something different. The insert is attached as well. See if we flip that over. A nice big wooden inlay on there for that. So we also, similar to the 5-point junction, we also have these two 3-way junctions. So if I overlay this, you can see it's a different size completely. That way it's probably better. So sort of using the standard middle length of track, and then the E1 going off on either side, which you can see on there, the angles are slightly steeper on those. But it's quite nice with these is you can actually fit 4 of these together. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Put in the special, the H1. So you can put that in and build like a big multi-point junction. In effect, that multi-point junction becomes one of these star junctions. So here, it's just a much smaller way of doing it. Main difference being is this is effectively 2 of the E bends. So you can see there, that arc is those 2, whereas this arc is 2 of the larger bends, the standard E1, standard E's versus the E1s. So again, nice extra junctions, just helps with building different layouts and expanding our play options. Right, let's open one of the bigger ones. Let's go for this, the Adventure Tunnel. So I think this is a piece that is still available. I believe this was the first version of it. The current versions, I think, are still very similar. The painting might be slightly different. There we are. Okay, there we are, excellent. Some extra instructions still, original instructions with it on how to change the batteries, and a BRIO catalogue as well. So yeah, here we have the jungle tunnel. So looks like we have a battery compartment in the bottom there. Obviously where this has been in storage for a number of years, the batteries need replacing, but our train will effectively pass through and down. Inside, if I lift that up, I'm sure you can see, but the tunnel is, it's got a hump in the middle of the tunnel. And then a nice piece there with the bridge as well. Push that button and then we'll get sounds. We've got steps here, so our play figures can come up across the bridge, and looks like it might even be a bit of a slide on this side. Yep, a little slide down on that side. Nice. Okay, so here we have an original car road bridge. So this will be for when we have trains and track. Get a piece of track quickly. So here we've got our train track. That's our train passing through. And this is space for cars to travel over. I suspect cars will technically fit through those tunnels on the other side. Looking at the pictures, so these are designed for our figures. These ones here for the trains. So again, if I use our person here, he can fit through to safely pass through the tunnel when a car's coming over or a train is running through. Here we go. This is the one I've been waiting for. The 33397 double track suspension bridge. So, pull out our straights. Okay, here we are. Now you can see on here, as we have it currently, that's on our single track. So our trains rise, it's a single height riser, but we can flip this over like that there, and you see we've got the track on the other side, and now these little bars move up and down. Now we are 2 tiers high. I think the length of this is so this is a standard long track length. So you can see this is a longer length. Looks like a D plus an A to make that total length. But having it double height like this allows us to pass trains underneath it, even allow us in the centre, I suspect, to pass a double train. I don't know if we can even get our car bridge. Yep, get our car bridge to go through there. What about our double tunnels? Oh, look at that. We'll even get our double tunnel so we can have our bridge going over our double track tunnel there as well. Awesome. There's probably even space for how big this is. We can probably even get a track alongside that there as well. We'll put our train, which I've lost, there it is. That'll pass through there too. Now we see in the box there is a picture showing how to build this with the elevated track. So let's grab that expansion set here, 33352. Set that up. Now something worth noting on this bridge is that both ends here are actually female ends. Normally with the bridges you'll have a male and a female so that your standard N ascending tracks will fit. However, with these ones, you'll be ending with two of those. So instead, what BRIO did was they actually created these special male-male ramps, which I think they call the N1s, and they will fit on like that. And if we combine that with this set over here, we should, if we have enough space, room. Need a bigger table. Down. So there. Wow, look at that. And that's what we call a bridge. Yeah, fantastic. Really, really good. Test our train out on here. Right across before then crashing and disappearing. So yeah, excellent piece, something that we had seen in an older catalogue and have had our eye on for a number of years. So really happy to be able to have picked one of these up. It's the other way around as well. I think the nice thing this here is it is possible, depending on how you're connecting, and I'm sure in future layouts when we start incorporating this in we'll be able to show it better, but with this double end we can actually switch one of them around so that we can have different pieces running in and out of those sets. Okay, here we have the vintage BRIO station. This is heavy, there's a lot of wood. This, again, we've got our original packing with it, and these are the original BRIO figures. Red and blue, same on both sides. Then we have our platform piece. Each piece is a separate block. That's where the weight is. That's a solid piece of wood. We have here station, access there, platform. So when the train comes along at the right height, there's our train hidden in the tunnel. So our train comes along here, it's perfect height for passengers to enter. Platform beam. We have a passenger bridge to come over. So here, two more characters. So another one of the blue ones, similar, that came with the water tower, and a red figure as well. We've got the BRIO stamping on them. And here we can see these being able to come up, stand and watch as the train goes under, and being able to safely get from one side to the other. Always useful. Here, so this one is a signal station. So again, similar build to the platform piece that we had. There we can see it with the stairs going that way. Have our signal here, and I think we see that signal goes up and down, signal whether it's safe or not for the train to pass. Very nice too. That was a 33564. We'll put a link in the description, or post in the description all of the part numbers, all of the set pieces, for those of you that are interested in those. Okay, this is, so I think this is still a current piece that you can get today, which is the tall tunnel, the 33459. So you'll note with the original wooden tunnels that BRIO did, some of the more modern trains were too tall to fit through. So this one is the tall tunnel, so any of the taller trains can safely pass through. So again, another tunnel to go with our other double tunnels there. Another engine shed here. This one is a Thomas & Friends version. Ah, we have another packed for you by 3501. Thank you, 3501. So nice wooden tunnel here, plastic roof, solid opening doors. See there the BRIO stamp on it. Another nice addition. This one here, the 33473, is a elevated mountain tunnel. So we have our support there, and this also comes with another of the N1 double end elevation pieces. So here's our tunnel. We've got a nice wooden mine shaft there with the mountains and the water on that side there. There's gold in the hills. Two female ends, sits on top, something like that. Put that into there. You can see here our train this way, comes up, comes down the tunnel. Wait, excellent. Yeah, nice piece that. Really well made. I'll have to test that out with some of the modern trains as well and see how that passes through. So next up then we've got this Sydney, the original Sydney double bridge. Been updated, it's still available today with the newer version. This was the original version, which just came with the single supports in the middle, which didn't always stay upright. I find the newer version today has supports on either end. I think it's also a little bit shorter as well than this version. We have one of these already that we picked up previously, but this one here comes with the supports and the ramps. We definitely are running out of room on our table now to be able to show this fully, but yeah, we would have the other piece there and there. So again, good height, space to be able to get trains and track underneath, and dipping down here as well so that you can actually get things over as well. So nice to get some more of these, and especially with the red, we've done quite a few tracks. This is another piece that is no longer available. It's a shame really, because I think this as a concept was very good. There's quite a few older layouts that actually utilise these ascending risers to build different sets. So what we have here is effectively lots of small little incremental steps. If I take our single piece, you can see when we do a single step like that, the track is still, you can connect onto it no problem. So use a little adapter there. The train can connect from there onto there, no problems. However, if we go straight to our big tool, it gets a bit of a problem with trains, especially the modern trains. If they're battery powered, they don't like going up those sort of inclines, which is what these pieces are for, designed soft curve to be able to get up. But if you don't have a lot of these, or if you're trying to connect at different heights, you can actually use these to stack. So do 1, 2, 3 pieces here. Now, if we take one of these, off that up against here, we can see that it is 2, 4, 5, 6. So one of the standard supports is the equivalent of 6 of those individual stacking supports. So that's a nice thing to note. Sometimes when you're building, if you're not building on flat surfaces, we've done it a couple of times when we've tried to build over the top of the grand roundhouse. It's not an exact block. We've tried lying it down, putting it on its side. So having these actually enables us to build at different heights. So there we see that 5 is the equivalent of it on its side. Laying it flat there is sort of somewhere between 3 and 4. So that, sorry, 2 and 3. So yeah, really happy to pick some of these up. There's some really nice old layouts that I've been wanting to build that have been tricky to do without these, because they'll use multiple ones of these over a long distance to gradually build up the incline. We managed to get 2 boxes of those, so yeah, really good. But how many pieces? Doesn't say how many come in a box, let's have a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's how many pieces we have there. But that's our ascending track pieces there. So auto stop and start. So this is something that BRIO have now discontinued actually. However, you'll notice still on a lot of the modern trains that they still come with the stop start button. So this little button at the bottom here on the trains stops a train when it's passing over one of these tracks. So this little arm here, when it's up like this, when it's up like that, train comes along, stops. When it goes down, and the train can carry on. It's a battery operated train, so we'll get some batteries in that, we'll test that out later on. But yeah, nice thing, we've got one of these already in our set, so nice to have a second one. Right, getting down to it now. Last few bits. So here we have a railroad crossing, a couple of original wooden crossing signs here. The modern sets, I think you'll see the BRIO road system, the plastic versions of these that are now available, so you can connect onto the road wooden layouts. But it's the nice short little piece here, so you can put one either side. It was always nice when they did these with sets that they always balanced it out. So if you had curves, you make, from a circle, you can extend that by putting this in, but you always got the opposite piece to maximise your layout potential, so you weren't stuck with one new piece, which was great, but you then couldn't build a layout because you didn't have the opposite size to build something. So that's a nice addition. We'll slide those on top there. Those. So last couple of bits then. Let's, while we're on the switches, let's do this BRIO and Thomas one. So this one here. Again, this is when BRIO was licensing the Thomas name. So a slightly larger crossing. This one is using the shorter track piece. This one is using the middle size, and then you have the larger as the 3 different track sizes there. So, and this one here, we've got the plastic crossings. What's nice is that they're crossover. So when we open one side and we open the other side, you have to open both sides to allow the cars to pass through. Also get this nice little wooden figure that comes with it as well. Similar sort of thing to the BRIO crossing, rather than up and down, these ones just turn. It's nice that you get the opposite connections. And then when we've got this here for our road car to come across, we have these barriers in place to stop the trains from coming back across. We can shut them and allow the trains to carry on their way. A couple of mechanical switches now. So male and female versions of these. When you're doing your layouts, having these to direct, especially when you're using battery trains, depending on how you're connecting into these switches, a lot of the times the trains can get stuck in a single loop. So these mechanical switches are actually really good to be able to switch and then change the direction that the train is going in. It's reversible as well, it can be connected. Great when you have a layout with an engine shed off to one side. If you don't want the trains going to the engine shed, you can have it positioned so as the trains come onto the track, it can be like that, and then once they're on the loop, you can then just switch that off so that they can only then access the rest of the layout, and if you want to go back to the shed, you have to open that so they can then go back to the shed. Got a number of these, but nice to add a few more to the collection too. So this is, I think we have an updated version of this available now. So this is the twisting crane, and this little arm moves down to the magnet to pick up any cargo and move it, take it off. But this one, it has the original sort of cutout wheels. So generally these were on some of the road vehicles, had these on them as well. So I'm not sure whether this is more intended for road use rather than train use. Could well be for the road next to the trains. It stops at the station, picks it up, and then moves that cargo and takes it on its way. That's a nice little addition there. Now this is a piece that we've not seen before. It's open. Looks like when, so as it goes along, find our track, our train. So as we move along, let's extend this out a little bit more track to see. There, so as we move along here, you can see that person wobbles along. I think, yeah, the person pops out. So we can change that for one of our other people as well. So we pop someone else in. So it's a wobble along carriage and another person. And then the last piece that we have, which is probably the piece our son will be the most excited about, is a vintage BRIO farm. All wood. Again, fits in nicely with the station, the signal house pieces that we already have. More pieces in here. So we've got our farmer play figure in green here. And we've got our farmhouse. Goes that way around. The roof. Some blocks here to make our farm pens. And then different animals. So we've got our wooden horse, cow, pig, sheep, and then looks like a rooster and a chicken. So yeah, nice little collection of pieces here. Put all our animals in. I'm sure you probably wouldn't have all of them in the same pen at the same time with our farmer. So yeah, there we are. That sort of wraps up our haul of BRIO for this week. So what are your favourite pieces? Let us know what you want us to build first, and yeah, leave a comment below. Let us know what piece you're most excited about seeing in a future video. Thanks for watching, and we'll speak to you next time.